All right, I think we're live. So I'm here with the amazing Lynne Taggart I'll let you share your company name and all of that, but we've been working together for a little over 2 years. And it's just been amazing to be in your presence and to see your growth and to have you as the first person I'm going to be interviewing today on this incredible day of success stories. So Lynne, tell us a little bit about you and your company.
Hi, Emily. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here. Yeah, so you and I started working together September 2015. I signed up for iHeart Coaching. Had no idea why, essentially. I just knew it was something I had to do. I had to be there. And my journey ever since then has been absolutely unbelievable. And so I became a coach thanks to iHeart Coaching. I have my own brand, my own website, mysweetsuccess.co.uk, and I've been coaching women pretty much for the past year, just over a year, and getting paid for it and building an incredible community and tribe of soulful entrepreneurs. And so it's just been really, really exciting. I've had so many great opportunities and yeah.
Love it. Yeah. And I mean, everything that you've done so far has been incredible. So we're going to get into that in a second. And I just want to remind anyone watching live to make sure to share some hearts if you love anything Lynne says and to share your comments and your thoughts. We'd love to read as we go along and definitely read once the interview's over. So one of the things that you just said, Lynne, that I love, that I actually said this morning, so I had my hair and makeup done and the ladies that were doing it were asking about my story and what brought me to London. And I said, I don't know why I was meant to be here. I kind of know now, but at the time I just moved on a whim. And you just said, I didn't know why I was meant to be in iHeart Coaching, but knew it was meant to be I knew it was meant for me. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Hi, Bridget. Yeah, so it was just that overwhelming feeling. And I didn't know back then that I'm very intuitive. And so I get these hits and I get these feelings of, wow, I really connect with, that person or that event or whatever it is. And so at that point, I had been searching for the next thing in my life that was going to allow me to run another business because I had just given up. I wanted to stay at home with my kids. They were still really young and needed me. And I had been on the lookout for something. I didn't know what that path was going to be, but I've been an entrepreneur since my early 20s. I just knew I was never going to work for somebody else. And I remember clapping eyes on this Facebook ad and, doing the whole visit your website, visit your Facebook page. And I really connected. There was a lot of your story that I saw myself. I was at this crossroads in my life. I wasn't quite having a quarter life crisis. I was more at the midlife crisis point, unfortunately. And so it just felt like there was more for me and I didn't know what that was. And I have to say that I always thought that somebody else was going to give that to me and that it had to come in the form of other people or other opportunities. And a really big moment for me was realizing that iHeart Coaching was a gift that I could give to myself to be a better mom, to, put myself out there in a way that I had never done before. And also to do something really different and inspiring, not necessarily for me, but for other women who were also possibly stay-at-home moms or at this crossroads in their career. And so quite quickly I started to think ahead, years ahead. And actually, everything that I was thinking about so far has already come true. And that's just been in a period of 18 months. So it was that deep inner knowing of there's something about this that I love. I don't quite know what it is. I can't pinpoint it. But this guidance system inside me is speaking to me very, very loudly. And I just remember I couldn't sleep. I was so excited. I just didn't know how it was going to come together. But in the end, it came together really beautifully.
I love that. So I love how open you are. And the thing that's different about you and a lot of ladies I work with is so often people want to have all of the answers in front of them and all of the, step-by-step processes in mind before they make that decision and take that leap. But for you, the biggest indication that you were on the right path was your heart and what you felt about this program and what you felt you were called to do. Is that true?
Definitely. The emotions, we block out our emotions so much. And I remember in that moment thinking, wow, like this on an emotional level, I can feel it. And I hadn't felt anything like that for years. So I knew that there was something special there.
I love that. Yeah, it's so funny that we as women often push our emotions down or even deny them, but those come from within us. And so they're a part of us and such a great indication of what we desire. So love that. So you also mentioned that pretty much everything that you want it to happen has already happened. So tell us what those things are.
A really big thing for me was being able to work at home and spend more time with the kids. And so that has been something that I've allowed. I've created that. And meeting other women, I had a real craving for connection, for being around more people, for having more fun, for meeting amazing mentors, and all of that and more has happened. I also really wanted more travel, and I've had some really amazing trips, both through yourself and James and I Heart My Life, and through other mentors that have really opened up so much of what is possible, but yet I wasn't aware of it. And so that has been a really, really big piece of the community that I've built, is just inviting that in. And so I had all of these amazing intentions. I had money goals. I had the type of women that I wanted to work with. I had ideas for programs, for digital products, for group programs, and all of that has happened. So yeah.
Love it. And something that you wrote in the questions I sent over to you before this interview was that your original financial goal was $2,500. So tell us a little bit more about that, or pounds, whatever the currency was.
Yeah, for some reason I vibed at that price back then. That was actually January last year. I found a message on my phone yesterday that I had sent to someone to share with them that my program was £950. Goodness, that was like not that long ago. And so that money goal for me felt, it felt a real stretch, I'll be honest. And there was a lot of pieces that I had to piece together in order for that to be allowed to be created. And it's just scary, really, that now there's a zero on the end of that goal every single month. And it's just showing other women what's possible. And I know that a lot of clients come to me and they think that they want the money, but when we dive a lot deeper, the money is, I always say the money's the outcome, and it's all of the other pieces of work, especially the inner work, the spiritual work, the mindset work, that will lead to that money. And so I didn't see that money for a very long time. And it was because behind closed doors, I was doing all of this work on myself. I was essentially stripping back a lot of the layers and rebuilding myself up again for the work that lay ahead. But in that moment, I didn't know that. And so the money, came whenever I had done the work on myself. So I think that for me has been, it's given me a real success foundation. It's kind of like I was planting all of these roots under the ground. And then when that was done, then I was able to see the fruits of my labor.
Yeah, amazing. I just want to say hi to a few people as well. So hi, Catherine. Hi, Joanne. Hi, Bridget. Amazing to have all of you on. And Lynne, your story, it's so incredible that you share that and you took us back to that place because, for you, you have done the inner work. So can you speak a little bit to just when you joined the program, one of the things that we often hear from people is that they don't want to do the mindset work. They don't understand why mindset work is a part of the curriculum. And I'd love for you to share a little bit about how that work has actually transformed your life and enabled you to create a six-figure business.
That's a loaded question.
Do your best.
People do resist the mindset work, and for me, again, one of the reasons I joined I Heart Coaching was because in one of your audio series at the time you mentioned mindset. And unbeknown to me, I'd already started doing an element of mindset work. I was coaching for free inside my network marketing business. And I thrived off self-development and really allowing myself to be stretched and took to the next level, and essentially rewiring a lot of the thoughts that were holding me back that I wasn't aware of. And so a lot of your work introduced me to that on a much deeper level. And then I combined that with spiritual work. So what that looked like for me was really very much tuning inwards and getting really clear on what it was that I wasn't happy about, or that I wanted to change, or that I thought I could do better. And it was really breaking that down into bite-sized pieces and allowing me to kind of like move forward each day and say, well, I want to leave bits of this behind and invite in more goodness, and be more grateful, definitely be more positive, and put a completely different spin on the way that I had been running my previous business. So what I started to see was kind of like these small results, or a door open, or I remember, you know, getting an editorial in one of the big newspapers over here. I remember getting a year-long blog post in one of the glossy magazines. And I started to see these little invitations come my way. And I remember thinking, wow, that's because I was doing this inner work, and I believed that that goal that was, you know, so far in the future was actually possible, and I was able to manifest that a lot quicker than what I realized. And so I began to do a lot of law of attraction work. I would do work around really quieting the ego. And when I realized that we have this voice inside of us, which is that fear-based voice, that I could essentially control that to a certain degree and work through some of the fears and limiting beliefs that, you know, our parents have put on us, or school teachers, or society. It blew my mind that we have the power to make that decision, to invite in so much more good stuff into life, business, friendships, relationships, and that we can reap the benefits of that long term. And so it literally
and we have
was
to break those, because it's going to hold us back as entrepreneurs unless we do that work.
Absolutely. And so when you realize the power of doing the inner work, you'll see it reflected in your outer world. And so we can do all of the strategy and the structure and the sales funnels and all of that, but unless we have done the groundwork and built that successful foundation, it's kind of like building a house on sand. And so it might stay good for a while, but eventually it will crumble, and you'll have to go back and do the inner work. So definitely really home in on all of that mindset work as soon as you can, because it is the basis for everything else that is going to form off the back of your business in the future.
Love it. And so for you, you know, a lot of people, they see iHeart Coaching and they think they need to have a business already set up to be a part of the program. But I was reading through your questionnaire, and you mentioned that you definitely did not have a business. I already knew that. You had a different sort of a business, but not a coaching business. So tell us a little bit about how you felt starting this coaching business and what the program was able to help you with.
I was really excited. I was also scared, because I remember thinking, oh wow, this is a whole industry that I knew nothing about. It was a massive industry in the US. I remember you telling us the stats, and I was kind of blown away, because, you know, little old me sitting in Northern Ireland had no idea that any of this was going on in the rest of the world. And I didn't even know at that point that I had been mentoring my team, and that was Classes Coaching. And I was doing all of that work for free. So when I came in, I was super excited to get started. And the way that you structured iHeart Coaching, I was able to get clarity quite early on. A lot of things that I had done up until that point really started to make sense. And so it was a matter of, you know, I still didn't quite know who I was going to coach, but I knew the overall picture of what it was that I wanted to create. And I remember you saying, you just start with where you are. And that's exactly what I did. And everything that you had, hey Penny, everything that you had inside the program was very much structured step by step. And I remember you saying, we're going to get to that, but where we are today was exactly where we needed to be, which was so true.
Yeah. Oh, trust me. Yeah, I'm not a patient person either. But there are a few steps that are best to do in order. And I love that you mentioned your ideal client because, again, this is something that people feel they need to have figured out before they get in the program. But honestly, it's such a journey figuring out who you want to serve. I know for me, I started off doing more life coaching and then moved into working with entrepreneurs. And that's how most people's journey looks. You know, you don't always have all the answers right at the beginning. So I love that you shared that. And definitely there's been a metamorphosis in your business. So talk a little bit about how you got clarity around the person that you were meant to serve and got yourself to where you are now.
I remember using meditation and visualization were two of the really powerful tools for me for getting clarity. Entrepreneurs kept coming up, and I remember thinking, well, there's a reason why I had this business in my 20s, and there's a reason why I'm the one that's always, you know, seeing opportunity in other people's missions and other people's jobs and things like that. And so I was kind of that go-to person with the people that I was around. But meditating and allowing myself to be still and to be quiet and blocking out all of the outside voices that said, oh, here we go again, you're going to start another business. What's everybody else going to say? All of those other voices that were always in my head, they taking that out of the equation, sitting still and being okay with what was available in that moment. And it has evolved beautifully. In my journey, it's evolved from being just somebody, you know, who saw possibility, who wanted to build a business. And now I have really niched down into the more spiritual, soulful entrepreneur who's willing to invite in just the things like meditation and visualization, and all of those other tools and resources that allow you to trust the voice within inside yourself.
I love it. Yeah, great, Lynn. And so let's talk a little bit about how your life has also changed. Because for me, I'm about the holistic view of everything. And it's obviously so important that my clients have successful businesses and move forward and make the money that they desire and have that success. And I know that your family is also really important to you and creating these friendships and travel and all of that. So can you give us a few things that have transformed in the last 2 years?
Yeah, so definitely all of that. It's been, the first thing that comes up is the kids. They see me, and you'll see my kids on all of my Facebook lives, bombing in the background. Birthday cake. They're like little sponges, and so they see me doing this thing that's slightly different. And I think they don't take a lot of that in, but when, you know, if we're out somewhere and they say something, I think, oh wow, they've heard that from me. So it's these little things that seep into them that, you know, Oliver's just 8, Harlem's 5, they're a really good age to pick all of that up for me, which is incredible. I
know you do like a little nighttime routine with them, don't you?
I do. So I love to use essential oils, and Harlow will always get her bedtime story. Oliver can read himself, and we'll even sit and do a little meditation, a little Kriya-based meditation. They love the Gabby Bernstein One Piece Begins With Me. I see them all the time sit and do that on their fingers. We'll do breathing, and we'll rub the oils on their feet, and that just is our nighttime routine. And if that doesn't happen for them, they're just ever so cranky. So I make sure that we stay in that routine, which is beautiful. Even for me to travel and them to see, you know, mum going off, getting on a plane, leaving them behind. That is a really big deal, both for me and everybody that, you know, pulls their weight when I'm away. Yeah. And it also inspires them, because now, you know, we want to start and travel more as a family, and work around the business ventures that I have, you know, and wherever I'm going to be. And so I wouldn't even have considered that. Like, I did not allow myself to have that time away. And if I did, I was so riddled with guilt that it was not fun. So it's kind of like, we love the lifestyle, we love the travel, we love the ability to make that decision and even to plant that seed of what is possible. That in itself is energetically unreal. It will shift everything in your body. You get out of bed feeling different. You have a different kind of day, knowing that there's something in the pipeline that is really, really exciting. So it's been everything. It's also, for me, a really important part is the tribe and the community that I have created, and being able to go in there and, you know, share something with them, what's going on behind the scenes, or give value or wisdom. And to have that feedback from the amazing women in my community is just such an uplifting thing. And I remember you talking about that, the ripple effect. And that's what it is. I mean, you're going out there and you're changing lives. They're going on to change other lives. And it's a gorgeous thing.
Yeah, I'm sure that's going to come up many times today, because it was something that surprised me when I joined my own group program, was the amazing women that I got to connect with. And so often this journey can be really lonely if we're just behind our computers and, moving forward solo. But this program, I know, it's created beautiful friendships, like best friendships. I know you've met some amazing women, and they're so grateful to know you. And that's such an important part. I mean, for us, the live event for this round is actually going to be 2 days for the first time. So I'm really excited about that. And we're going to give them some incredible material. They're obviously going to be able to experience travel, which, as you know, you said, is very life-changing. But it's meeting their fellow iHeart Coaching sisters in person. Like that for me is everything. You know, get to see people come in the room and hug and meet in person for the first time. It's just life-changing and really incredible.
Yeah,
so
the first.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say the graduation that we had in Paris was unbelievable, and we did a couple of days there, April last year. And like you say, those women are now, you know, my mastermind sisters. They're best friends for life. And so that is a really, really big part of building a business, is making sure that you don't do it alone and that you have this community behind you all the way.
Totally, because we're painting a really rosy picture here, and we know that all these incredible things have happened to you in the past few years. And there are times where it's not so easy, and there are times where you want to throw your computer out the window and you might want to give up, and whatever else comes up for you. And so having that support is essential. So take me back to when you were planning to sign up for iHeart Coaching. So if I remember, it was like on one of the final days, and you weren't sure how in the world you were going to pay for it. So tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so you had an early bird rate from what I remember, and that, you know, moved up at midnight that night, and I literally signed up at the very last of the early bird price. I was the girl who didn't know how I was going to pay for it. I managed to gather up enough money for the very first installment, and I trusted that the rest would be brought to me through creative opportunities for abundance, let's just say. And that happened. And, you know, month after month, I allowed the money to come in. I did a lot of money mindset work. I got rid of all of the money blocks that I had been carrying for years, which felt incredible. And that was a big part of the work inside iHeart Coaching as well. And so yeah, I just knew I had to get in there, and that I had to just trust the process. And that's what happened.
Love it. And since then, how much have you brought in your business financially?
I've brought in over 6 figures. I brought in well over 100K. So yeah.
Amazing. Love it. Okay, so tell everyone a little bit about the programs that you offer.
So I currently offer private mentorship. I have a combination of private and group mentorship at the minute, which I'm opening up behind the scenes. I have Soul Biz Mastery, which is a 6-week digital course with an element of life coaching. And I've had a few programs in the past as well. So that's what's there at the minute.
And so what would you say to the person who says, oh my gosh, Lynne's so amazing. She has everything together. There's no way I could ever put a program together. I could never do what she's done. 6 figures isn't possible for me. What would you say to that person?
It's absolutely possible. I realized very early on that everything in life is a choice. And when you choose to say yes and you choose to show up, that thing that you go to bed thinking about, whether it's a group program or meeting other women on the other side of the world, it's meant for you, and to deny that is actually blocking your own success. And one of the really big fears I had was fear of failure, and fear of what will other people say and all of that. But you do move through it, and we all know that at every new level there are different fears that come up. But if you're prepared to go there, you will absolutely be surprised at what's on the other side.
Amazing. So how would your life be different had you not signed up for iHeart Coaching?
I don't even want to think about that, truthfully. I could be doing something that was not aligned. I remember considering, personal training and nutritional work. And even though I love that for myself, this work I'm doing now is on a much, much deeper level, and it feels really aligned. And so my life would definitely be, I feel it wouldn't have as much possibility. It definitely wouldn't be as exciting. I wouldn't have amazing friendships. I wouldn't have amazing calls like this all over the world. And so it would be hugely different.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to think about it either. Although I can see you doing something with nutrition, because Lynne came and did an intensive with me at my house, and we went out to lunch and to dinner. And I mean, you eat so healthily, and I try and eat really healthy too. But I was just blown away by you and your self-control when there's like a brownie right there and so many options.
Yeah, I do love the clean eat. I'm not as bad as what I used to be. It got slightly obsessive, but I do know that in order to, when you're busy and you've the kids and all of that, like, it's just good to keep yourself where you know that you are the most powerful version of yourself internally, because I did have a lot of health issues, and thankfully I no longer have any of them.
Wow. Incredible. So I'd love for you to brag a little bit. So I know you mentioned Gabby in passing, but tell us everything that's happened with that recently, and also the incredible opportunity you have coming up in September.
Okay. So I had what I called a Gabby journal.
We'll wait.
Okay. Oh, I don't know what happened there. Okay, so I had this Gabby journal, and
we froze.
Oh, I can hear you. Have we froze, ladies?
Incredible opportunity you have coming
up. Hi, Emily, is that us now? You're back? Yeah, is that us? Okay, cool.
Okay, I think we're back. Let's see.
Yeah.
Is it coming?
Thanks, Janelle. You're highlighted. Emily, I can hear you. I don't think Emily can hear me. Let's just wait and see. Yay, thanks, Tillian. Chat with your host. Let me send Emily a message and just say, yeah, maybe Janelle, thank you. I could just keep talking. Hi, Siska. Hi, Joanne. I think you're right. Am I still live? Can somebody drop me a message and see if you can still see me? Unfortunately, if Emily drops off, we're going to have to restart or finish it on a different live. Is there anybody there? Let's hear. in Ireland. And so, hi, Emily. Let's just see if Emily can hear me. So that's really exciting. And if it hadn't have been for the work with Gabby, I certainly would not be going on to do that thing that has been my vision for a really, really long time. So, okay, let's see if Emily's back on. The joys of technology. Emily, hi.
Can you hear me?
I just kept talking, so we haven't lost any viewers.
Okay. Thanks, Lynn. So some reason internet on my desktop is not working, so we're on the laptop. So I heard the tail end of that. So you have the Gabby work, and then you have the event that you're speaking at, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, Lynn. So final question. To anyone who has heard your success and heard everything you've accomplished, we know that they're capable of doing it too, but maybe they're still on the fence when it comes to moving forward with their dreams. So I'd love for you to speak a little bit about how you're able to move past, anything that comes up for you around big decisions like this and just go for it. What advice would you give them?
I would say that when you invest in yourself, there's going to be a lot of old stories that come up. You're going to be told that you can't possibly do that thing. But honestly, investing in yourself is absolutely priceless. You're going to have tools and resources for life. And it's your decision what you do with those. And so empower yourself to go there. Empower yourself to be the woman who says, do you know what, it's possible for the ordinary person to do this, and that is me, and I'm going to go for it. And so the doubt, you have to just set the doubt aside, because the doubt will always be there for the rest of your life. Just, it's going to be at a different level, at a different volume, but trust your intuition. If you have something in, your emotions, inside your body, if there's a voice in your head that is telling you to do this thing, then please don't ignore it. Because when you do, it's just going to make the journey twice as long. You're going to go on another detour, and you're still going to come back to that thing that it is that, you want to do. Maybe it's just success, maybe it's travel, whatever it is. And so what I realized is that the more that I played small, the more that was reflected in my business, in my community, and all of that. And I remember having a conversation with you, Emily, the end of last year, and you brought that to my attention, which I'm really grateful for. Because we do get stuck in our own head. We do think that things are meant for other people and not for us. But honestly, the people that Emily has brought together in iHeart Coaching, we're all ordinary women. And if we can do it, so can you.
Love it. Amazing. So I'm currently holding my laptop up a little bit. So let's see the comments. So you both are back. I've missed your story, Lynn. Not sure if I'm the only one. It's probably, the story was in the beginning. I don't know if your name is Bridget. Sorry about that. But the story's in the beginning, so it's most likely going to be on the replay that you'll hear that. Thanks for Janelle for being like the monitor of this while I was gone. Awesome. Hey, Talene. Great. So thank you so much, Lynn. So while you're on the line here, I wanted to make an exciting announcement. So everyone can hear me okay, right? I'm good, Lynn?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so with iHeart Coaching, you mentioned that you got in for the early bird price. So we're doing things a little bit differently this year, and only the people who are watching these live videos and who are on the waiting list at this point, they're going to get the opportunity to get in for the early bird price. So that's a chance to save $1,500 and get the program for $5,000. So I just want to encourage everyone to go to iHeartCoaching.com if you are interested in joining us for round 4 of this program, the program that Lynn started in nearly 2 years ago that has helped her get to this place. So just go to iHeartCoaching.com and sign up to get the early bird pricing now. It's only available for 72 hours, and the cart doesn't actually officially open until the end of next week. So you're getting in before anyone else if you're watching this video and if you're on the waiting list. So thank you so much, Lynn. It's been amazing. Sorry for the technical difficulties, but we made it through. I'm just so grateful for you and excited to see what's next for you. I know it's going to be huge things.
Oh, thanks so much for having me.
All right, I'll talk to you soon. Bye, Lynn. Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching. Bye.